Hey guys, so I wanted to kind of tell you why I would just say blunt. I think that's fair. I'm a no nonsense guy, and really the reason for that is kind of how I came up in the business world. And I'm a CPA by trade, and if you've ever been around a lot of those folks, they just have basically zero patience for nonsense and BS because they've experienced along the way just so many people who have wasted their times, whether it's working with somebody internally or maybe outside of an organization that maybe they don't even realize that they're wasting your time. It could be just somebody who's maybe concerned about making themselves look good, or maybe just somebody who's uh, not giving you a straightforward answer, or oftentimes there are just people in maybe a different department who aren't held to the same standard. And there are just people who like fundamentally just do not understand accounting in the slightest, which I think is kind of sad, but that is the language of business. All business. It sits under every single business known to mankind. So that being said, when I see all of these takes when it comes to something like real estate, and people for a while now have we are so far past this thing being like a white lie, or maybe like injecting special interest, where we're just people are just flat out lying about all these things. And I would just say in general, okay, the bulk of the people who are very loud about just like housing, which I think is kind of the economic cycle, are frauds, more or less. That's what they are. They're frauds. And if you push back and you say, hey, like show the math or whatever, you'll see very quickly that they are just being loud to deflect, more or less. Uh, Ultimately, people like that develop a reputation. And I've gotten to a point where I've seen so much bad behavior, and I'm just one person, and it really doesn't matter what I think, to be honest. But it's so egregious these days that it's like, okay, this is insane. And if people really understood, and they're coming around to it these days, just how badly you are getting absolutely railed for no other reason than the fact that we're supporting the wealth effect and all the jobs associated with it, and that there are a lot of complete jackasses, okay, rich idiots who have no idea what's going on, and it's basically ruining your quality of life, then you would understand why I do it, okay? I have no patience or tolerance for anything other than whatever the numbers say, okay? Anything short of that is literally a waste of my time, good or bad. Okay? Enough of the nonsense. Spit it out. Spit it out. I don't want any fluff. If you want to be entertained, go and listen to all these circle jerk podcasts you see out there, where it's oftentimes like there's slow instrumental jazz playing in the background as if everything is fine. You know what? It's not fine. That's what the math shows. Doesn't mean the world's coming to an end tomorrow. But let's just talk about it. All I want is just brutally honest conversations about this. I think the average person probably feels the same way. And if anything, all we have accomplished when it comes to all of this free money floating around is just basically creating extreme entitlement and mental illness of all shapes and sizes. That's all I see. And expecting some sort of rosy outcome is laughable. And just understand, look, again, if you're going to try and suggest that some of these things do not exist where you live, you're basically admitting that you do not understand how the world works or what the wealth effect is at all. And I would also say that if you are willing to say that, just understand that people can verify very quickly whether or not you're full of shit. Okay? They can. So Anyway, not that it matters, but there it is. Okay, bye.